Hi, I'm Mitch Shoemaker, and this is week 14 of my doing 100 weeks of YouTube videos and focusing on creating a healthier, happier lifestyle for myself. And I realize I'm kind of late in posting this video, in making this video, because technically week 15 is tomorrow. So I'm going to try to remember just week 14 stuff and not week 15 stuff. But so for this week, I um, I think I did everything like Sunday, Monday, and Tuesday, and then I just crashed Wednesday through Friday and did nothing. So fabulous that way sometimes. The joys of living with depression, anxiety, PTSD, all of those fun, fabulous things. Also, my crazy brain that seems to think that I can change overnight, that I can just barrel through, and I forget. I need to constantly remind myself or be reminded that the whole point of doing 100 weeks is because it's going to take me 100 weeks to get healthy, and I may still need to continue to get healthier, but I'll be healthier than when I started, and hopefully healthier physically, financially, mentally, socially, emotionally, um, spiritually, all of those 6 areas that I want to be healthier in. Um, and I will be healthier in those. I think that I am making some progress, but I also feel like I keep sliding back on some of these things. So it's a process, and I just have to remember that it is baby steps, slow and steady. I am the tortoise, not the hare. I am not going to win the race by racing. So what I did this week was kind of crazy. I was freaking out because of the whole high blood pressure thing and not wanting to be on more medications and desperate to like lose the weight and do all that stuff. So I'm like, I'm just going to do it overnight, and not quite overnight, but I mean, I hadn't been exercising for a couple of weeks because I got sick and got behind and whatever. So I went from doing 5 to 10 reps, 3 sets of 5 to 10 reps with my little wall push-ups and leg lifts and tummy crunches. And I decided I was going to do 15, 3 sets of 15, which doesn't sound like a lot, but when you're not used to any or less than that, it's a lot. And I did it on Monday, and I was very proud of myself, and I was doing a lot of self-love, talking to myself like, I know this is hard, but this is good for me. It's going to help my body rebuild its muscles, and it's going to get me healthier, and it's going to give me more energy, and it's worth the struggle. It's worth it. I can do this, and all the nice things I was saying to myself. And then I did it again on Tuesday, and I was very proud of myself for 2 days in a row. And then Tuesday I went to the open house, Mesa Temple open house with my friend, my sponsor for my 12-step program, and it was awesome. But she was having some issues, so we used a wheelchair for her, which is fine. But I had to push the wheelchair. So I had to walk through the temple and push the wheelchair with my already sore arms and sore leg. And one of the things I noticed in doing my lovely little wall push-ups is when I fell, like back in April, 6 months ago, I did injure my arm. It's not my shoulder, so I still have full use of my arm. So every once in a while, my arm just kind of hurts, and I could have sworn I felt something tearing or pulling when I did that. But I haven't like really talked to the doctors about it or done anything, because it's just, it's the arm muscles. It's not my shoulder. It doesn't inhibit my ability to do stuff. It just kind of hurts, and occasionally it hurts to drive or hold my arm certain ways when I have to use those muscles, but it doesn't hurt on a regular basis, and it's not causing me as much pain and anguish as my leg. So I haven't done anything with it. I don't know how much damage was done to it. I don't know how long it takes for that to heal, or if it will heal itself, or if it will require surgery to be repaired. Because when I tore the ligaments and stuff, cartilage in my wrist, I had to have it surgically repaired. So if I tore something like that in my arm, I might have to have it surgically repaired. But like I said, I haven't actually had it looked at. So it's just occasionally sore, and I just put some stuff on it to make it feel better. And I'm like, okay, it feels better for a little bit, but boy, did it really hurt after I did the wall push-ups, and then I had to push the wheelchair, and I was like, oh my gosh, I think my arm is gonna fall off. So come Wednesday, I thought I should do my exercises again, but I was so stiff, I was so sore, like every muscle in my body, I was like, I can't move. I can't move. And I think at some point you have to keep doing the exercises to keep loosening up your muscles or to get them used to it. So you have to work through it. So I don't know if I was at the point where I was supposed to work through it or if I was just, I overdid it. And so, but me, I was like, I'm not doing it. And so I kind of stopped and I've been sore for the entire week, rest of the week. So I just didn't do like anything because I hurt, I ached. I did too much. And this is part of my problem. This is part of why I need to be changing my focus. I need to be working on becoming happier and healthier in the things that I do on a daily basis. And I need to remind myself that extremes are not healthy. They're just not healthy. I cannot go from one extreme to the other, and I cannot change overnight, and I cannot do all the things that I could do 5 years ago, or 10 years ago, or 20 years ago, whatever. I am older, and I am heavier, and I am more out of shape, and it's going to take me longer for my body and myself to get back to where I would like to be, or to get forward to where I would like to be. And just because I can picture it in my mind doesn't mean that I can do it. Although sometimes I think that it does. And then I have a tendency to get frustrated with the fact that I can't do everything that I picture in my mind doing. And I know that if I keep working on things, I will eventually be able to do all the things I picture in my mind being able to do. I just can't do it today. But I have a tendency to be frustrated with the fact that I can't do it today. And then I get discouraged, and then I get depressed, and then my depression kicks in, and then I have a hard time functioning and doing anything. So it's a vicious cycle that I am trying to break, which is the whole point of my doing these videos, which is the whole point of because doing these videos keeps me focused, keeps me remembering that it's kind of like my weekly report. I have to report on how I'm doing and what progress I'm making, even if I don't feel like I'm making progress, because it keeps me focused on the fact that I am trying. And trying is a good thing. I grew up and my biological mom used to tease me all the time. I would just tell her that I was trying because I would fall short on something and she would remind me that I didn't quite this or just quite that or whatever. And I'm like, I'm trying, like I'm doing the best I can. And she was like, yes, you're very trying. Like you have a very trying personality. Like you're trying on my patience. Like you're, that. So she turned it into a negative twist. And so trying always had like a negative connotation in my mind. And I'm trying to change it back to a positive thing because it's a positive thing to put forth effort. It's a positive thing to try. And I know there's lots of things and quotes out there that if you fail or you make a mistake, as long as you learn from it, you keep getting up and going. I don't remember. I think it was it Einstein or Benjamin Franklin? I don't remember, whoever invented the light bulb. And it took him like 1,002 times to do it. And they're like, so you made a mistake, like you failed like 1,000 some odd times. He's like, no, I just learned 1,000 ways not to make a light bulb, which I think was a really positive spin on that. Like it wasn't, okay, I failed. It was, well, that's not how you do it. So I'll have to learn a new way to do it. I have to try a different approach. So anyway, I think that's a really cool perspective and something that I need to remember, that I am not failing just because I'm not doing things quite the way that I picture them in my mind. That I'm trying, and if one approach doesn't work, I can try a different approach. And sometimes the approaches I'm trying, they actually work. They just take time, and I just need to work on being more patient with myself and patient with the process. And I lack patience, and when I freak out about things, then I want to fix them like immediately because I don't like being anxious. I have too much anxiety, which is not very good. But on the plus side, on the positive side to all of this, because I overdid, which was kind of crazy, overdid, super sore, super whatever, it made me super tired. I finally been able to sleep. So whatever anxiety or issues that I've been having that have been keeping me from sleeping, I've actually been sleeping. I mean, I still kind of wake up every 3 to 4 hours, but I can go right back to sleep. I'm like, I just get up and, and then I go I get up, I go to the bathroom, I grab, something to eat, and I go right back to sleep. Or I don't even grab something to eat. I just crawl back into my bed and I'm like, I'll go back to sleep. Or I just roll over and I go back to sleep. And I'm like, so awesome. I can sleep again. So, I just constantly want to sleep now. So my body is going from one extreme to the other where it's like, hey, we can't sleep. I don't care how tired you are. We can't sleep. And now it's like, oh my gosh, we're so tired. We can't function. We're so tired. We can't function. I'm like, please somewhere be a happy medium. Please somewhere be a happy medium. I don't know where the happy medium is, but I am grateful for the ability to sleep again. So there is a positive that comes out of this, and I am grateful that I can look and find positives and reminders that this is a process and that I'm only in week 14 out of 100. I have several more weeks. What is that, 86 more weeks to go? Lots of things can happen in 86 weeks. This is not the end. And the whole point isn't, it's to be healthier, it's to be happier, it's to have more energy, it's to feel better about myself. It's not to like change who I am. And that's another thing that keeps running through my mind is that what is it? To be and to do. Like, to be is like who I am, and to do is like the things that I actually do. And I can do things that make me feel better about myself, but I don't necessarily have to change who I am as a person. And I'm grateful for that reminder too, that I have to kind of play that in my head. And I'm grateful that God reminds me of that all the time. He's like, hey, it's okay. You're okay just the way you are, just who you are. But you can do some things better. You can do some things differently. And that's true. I can do some things better. I can make some better choices. I can do some things differently. But it doesn't mean that who I am as a person is bad or wrong or totally screwed up. I am not. And that I have a lot of things to deal with. But as far as emotional and mental health issues that I have to deal with that make it sometimes harder for me to do better things, but it doesn't mean that I am a person and a bad person. So anyway, that's kind of where my thought process is going for this week, and I am grateful that I was able to get through this week. Also, this week I got bold, kind of freaked out a little bit, but I did it. I think it was this week I did it. Anyway, I had to call my Kohl's card because I'm behind on the payments for that. So for my financial situation, I called them and I finally set up an agreeable payment arrangement because I've tried doing it before and they always want the whole balance that you're past due. And it used to be that credit cards or store cards or whatever, it's like if you missed a payment, they just add it to the balance that you owe. And then sometimes your minimum payment goes up by like $5 or something. But no, now they're doing this stupid thing where it's like you have to pay the past due, the late fee, plus the regular monthly fee. So you're basically your balance owing just tripled. So now you have to come up with 3 times as much money because you're a month behind. And then you get 2 months behind and you're having to come up with like, I don't know, 6 times as much money. It's ridiculous. I was like, I don't have that kind of money. And then you call them to make some kind of payment arrangement. They're like, well, if you can pay the whole past due balance. And I'm like, if I could pay the balance, I wouldn't be behind. What makes you think I can pay the whole past due balance? It's like hundreds of dollars. I don't have that. So, and of course, I'm calling them, I'm telling them this. I tell the guy this is how much money I have that I can, right now that I can pay. And he was like, well, if you could pay the whole past due balance, which is like 10 times what I'm telling him I can pay. And I was like, no. I don't have that much money. This is how much money I have. And he was like, oh, okay, well, let me put you on hold and see what I can do. I'm like, thank you. And then he comes back with something else. Well, we have to close your account. And I'm like, that's fine. Close my account. I'm not using it. I can't use it anyway. I'm over the limit because I was under the limit. And I have now doubled my balance because of late fees and past due stuff. And I was late and past due behind, and then I got caught up, but I didn't get back down to the balance that I had before I got behind again. So I literally, from what I owed before I got behind the first time, like a year ago, is now double that amount, which is ridiculous that I am now paying double the amount, and it's all because of late fees and interest, and because they just whatever. So it's just like late fees and interest, and I now owe double the amount that I owed a year ago, which is insane. And of course, they're not going to waive any of that. But if I can keep up with the new payment plan, which is half the amount, it's back to the original. Basically, it's back to the original monthly payments that I was making, which is nice. Um, so I'm like, that I can afford at this point in time, instead of the higher ones that they wanted that I was doing to try to play catch up. And then that just didn't work because I couldn't make the higher payments. So anyway, so it's back to that, and it's zero interest, and it's like for 25 months. So it'll take me 2 years to pay off the entire balance. But that's okay, because at least I called them and I worked out an arrangement, and it's taken care of. So it's not something weighing on my mind, and it's something manageable. So I am taking care of my finances a little bit at a time. So yay, that makes me happy. Now I just have to figure out my car payments so I can get my car paid off in the next 6 months. which is pretty much what I owe if I wasn't behind on my car payments. It actually is supposed to be paid off in the next 4 months, but I've skipped a couple of payments over the years. So anyway, but I am getting closer to getting my finances and things organized and taken care of, which makes me very happy. So yay for that. And like I said, socially, I went to the Temple Open House with my friend, and so that was a positive thing. So I've been trying to do little things here and there, socially, spiritually, emotionally, financially. I forget all of them: emotionally, spiritually, financially, socially, mentally, and physically. Those are the 6 areas that I am attempting to do, and I don't know how well I'm doing all of them, but I am learning that there's a lot of mental exercise in trying to change my behaviors, change my habits. Making better choices requires a lot of mental thought process, a lot of changing my focus. It also requires a lot of spirituality, a lot of praying, a lot of asking God to help me to see things differently, to focus on things that I'm grateful for, and to remember that this is a process, and to do it very slowly and not have to go to the extremes, which obviously this week was a reminder that I literally overdid the first half of the week, and then I did nothing the last half of the week. So those are my extremes. I'm very much one of those people that has a swinging pendulum, and I go from one extreme to the other, and I don't ever seem to stop somewhere in the middle. So it would be nice if I could learn how to stop somewhere in the middle, if I could learn how to just slowly do things instead of trying to do everything and then crash and do nothing, which is kind of what I grew up doing. So I'm trying to break that habit. I'm trying to change that response, but it's going to take time. It's not an overnight process, obviously. And then I think because I was just discouraged about the end of my week, and then I forgot how great the beginning of my week was, and I just put off doing my video for a week. So hence the joys of depression. Anyway, that is pretty much what I have for week 14. If you like these videos, you find them helpful, or you have suggestions on how I can improve or make things easier for myself, I would appreciate that. Please feel free to comment or hit like, subscribe, share with someone else if you think they'll like it too. And I hope you have a great week full of gratitude and find some ways to create a healthier, happier lifestyle for yourself too.